Yo, what's going on, man? Yo, this Big West, I gotta make a video, man. I just saw something from my man Steph is cold. Shout out to Steph is cold, right? Fair use, fair use. I do not own the rights to any music or any content that you see or hear. But check this out. He just put up a video of Steve Harvey talking his fucking crazy shit again, man. Listen, man. He's on there. I think the guy's Shannon Sharp. I think show. Listen, man. Steve, do not listen to that dude, bro. Don't listen to him, man. This dude married 3 times. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. You know what I'm saying? He kept trying. But the dude can't tell you what to let a woman get away with. Cause these women was fucking walking over this nigga, man. According to the shit I'm about to show you. So let me just get right into this shit right here. This shit, man.
That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job.
Yeah, I'm gonna chop this shit up. People like him are they're masters at using tone, confidence, and conviction when they speak. Right? That's one of the keys of being a good speaker and motivational speaker. But growing up in a world when you deal with people, you realize a lot of people are just saying shit and they hope you believe it. When a motherfuckers start yelling or talking loud and talking with conviction and talking with confidence, that don't mean that they fucking right. That don't mean that it fucking makes sense what you saying. You arguing with a woman just because you're raising your voice doesn't mean you're right. It means you're in your feelings. So this dude saying, "Oh, it's our job to take care of a woman," right? It's your job when you choose the right woman to take care of her, to take care of your family. But you don't just pick any woman that just has anything to offer you. That's stupid. You pick the woman that you want, not the one that comes to you.
But what happens to when the woman tell you, I don't need a man, Steve?
Well, they need to, what? Okay, if you don't, how that's working? You know, how that's working? Who don't need no man?
I'm independent. I can do for myself.
Yeah, but
See, my man on point right there. This is his way of not really trying to step on Steve's toes, but just let him know, like, yo, I hear what you're saying, but these bitches out here, they saying this. And of course, he is the world's greatest panderer. He will fucking tell a woman. He tells a woman, "Oh, you're fat." Well, you tell a man that you don't like small men, and he ain't man enough to handle a woman like you. That's the shit that got like these super bitches like Lizzo and all these motherfuckers out here talking all of this dumb shit. Yeah, this nigga. His fucking philosophy on what a woman should say to a man. How about you get right, and then come back. Don't tell me that I'm less of a man because I don't want to accept the bullshit you offering.
But why do you want to? Yeah, okay, you can drop a transmission. You can sandblast your house. But hell, do you want to?
No.
If somebody could get out there and drop this transmission for you and sandblast your house, why don't you go get your nails done? I'm not trying to reduce a woman to nothing else. Be all you can be. But damn, who don't need a man? That's a lie. What man don't need a woman? I tell you what. Try to live without them. Try to live your life without women. This ain't about la-da-da, man. This some bullshit without women. If it
Those are the words of a motherfucker whose life is ran by women. That's not true. Take it back to when you were a kid. I don't know if your childhood was fucked up or not, so I ain't talking to the people with the fucked up childhood. But take it back to when you was a kid, you were fucking happy. You remember being happy? Just excited to fucking wake up the next day to go and play and do shit and just fucking happy. Just to go outside. So, if you were that fucking happy as a kid, what changed? When you started trying to mix your fucking feelings with somebody else. I promise you, if you look back right now, men, every major problem that you had or have is in some shape or form attached, connected to a woman. So to hear this nigga say, "Oh, wait, what you gonna do without a woman?" Oh, nigga, motherfuckers been happy way before they started trying to get with a woman, and way before women started trying to get with a man. People forgot how to be happy with themselves, and society's been training you since you was a little kid. Oh, that you need a girlfriend. Would you need a boyfriend? You need a boyfriend. So you're like, damn, I'm happy as fuck, but I just don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. So now I don't feel whole or fucking happy no more. I feel like I'm missing something. Why? Because these motherfuckers is like, you ain't got no man yet? Oh man, you ain't got no girlfriend yet? What's wrong with you? What are you, gay? Nah, I'm just chilling. I'm happy. I'm running around playing with fucking G.I. Joe and Voltron and going outside playing two-hand touch and playing video games with my friends. But this nigga here, this nigga was probably worried about a girl. He's been worried about a woman all his life. And then he chasing after the woman that fucking left him when he became homeless. He chased after the woman that said, "Oh, you don't make enough for me." Steph about to kick in pretty soon.
If it wasn't for women, what would you? Aristotle Onassis said it best. He said, if women did not exist, all the money in the world would have no meaning. Dog, women is everything.
That don't mean it's good. That just means money has a meaning to be spent, that they spend the most fucking money. That don't mean shit would be fucked up.
They'd catch me out, they'd lick, man. But these young boys done forgot it because these women out here, they've had to be independent because they ain't got the right man. But this system of marriage is still good.
Okay.
This system of a man taking care of a woman, that's really how it's supposed to be.
I'm telling you, the day if this chick leaves this nigga, it takes him for half he fucking got. You know how many people is going to fucking say something to this dude? And I feel it happening.
The rest of us bullshit, man. And y'all need to quit tricking yourself with this new way of thinking. Because this new way of thinking ain't getting y'all no damn where. I'm sorry.
You might be asking yourself, can you actually create high quality live streams?
This nigga's wildin'. This new way of thinking ain't getting you nowhere. Tell that to Dr. Dre. Tell that to motherfucking Jeff Bezos. Tell that to Bill Gates. Tell that to Neo, Tyrese, Kenny G, fucking anybody who ever got fucking fucked in a divorce. Anybody that's paying $40,000 a month in fucking alimony or child support. Anybody, Kanye West, tell that to Kanye West, man. Listen, don't listen to this nigga, man. Don't listen to Steve Harvey, man. All right, here go my man Steph is Cold. Shout out to him.
Well, we listened to Steve Harvey right there. And now I get to share my thoughts on the video as well. YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Steph, man. Welcome back to another code video, man. We're gonna dive into a code topic. But before we do, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at Steph is Code. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Steph is Code. One-on-one consultations, go to stephiscode.com, man. You know Steve Harvey. I am 25 years young. I'm a black male. I am successful. And I just want to ask this one question. I don't have any kids. And this one question I want to ask is, why is it that I can't have standards? Why is it that I can't say what I want out of a woman and what I want out of my woman and what kind of woman I want without getting ridiculed, criticized, and shamed and blamed? But you, on the other hand, can literally make a video and tell us that the only thing a woman needs to bring to the table is what God has given her. That's it. Like, nah, bro, that double stamp, man, them days is over. See, now I'm finna give game on, you know what I'm saying, what fellas are going through, single guys are going through, right? You meet a girl, she's cute, y'all talking, y'all getting to know each other. Y'all probably met on a dating website or some shit like that. You see her pictures and shit like that. She looking cute. Y'all get to talking. Y'all get to have a conversation. Next thing you know, she got a kid. But it wasn't on the dating site, though. It wasn't on the Hinges of the world, the Tinders of the world, the Bumbles of the world, the BLKs of the world. She didn't have her kid on the dating app. Why? Why did she not have her kid on the dating app? Because she knows deep down it will lower her value. Women aren't stupid. Women know when to play stupid and women know when to play dumb, nigga. You think she don't know if this fine ass dude see me with this child and he got his shit together? You think she don't know he ain't gonna perceive her a certain way, nigga? Now I'm talking about the video. We talking about marriage and all this goofy shit. How's a man supposed to marry that? Court that? So basically, I have to lower my standards for what I earned and what I worked for just because she has the sweet watery guts. That is fucking insane. Holy shit. Holy shit. That is so insane. That's basically saying, forget all your hard work, young man, that you proved yourself. Forget all that shit that you done. Forget all the sacrifice you have to just accept what comes with it. And that is and I'm gonna be honest, that is the unfortunate truth of a man. If you don't work on yourself, if you don't self-improve, bro, just guess what? You ain't getting shit out of this life. You ain't getting shit. You ain't getting nothing. You don't work on yourself and self-improve, bro, you're getting nothing out of this life.
Earlier, I was looking up some shit, right? And I came across this. Trying to see, what do they say? I made a video on what a husband's duty is, right? So, what is a husband's duty? And look at what the came up. Look what I found. I already know what the fucking duty is, right? What my duty is, but I wanted to see this. All right, now where are we? The role of a husband and how to be a good one. Right? Who was it written by? This motherfucker. Sneha has a master's degree in applied linguistics from University of Hyderabad, professional relationship coach diploma, over 4 years of experience in writing. Right? So it's a female that wrote this fucking article. So you can pretty much tell how this article is going to go. And it was reviewed by this fucker. This guy just looks like a fucking pansy. Just looks like a fucking pansy anyway. Well, check this shit out. Look at what they say you're supposed to do. I don't know how the fuck we get to 3. Protect your wife. Cool. I agree with that. Protect your wife, right? From all sorts of dangers. It's his prime responsibility. Yo, these fucking ads on this shit is crazy. Physical, mental, emotional, psychological. Right? Every which way. I can agree with that. Right? Now, the fuck? This bitch just went to 5. 2, lead. Husband's always been the leader of the family. Though duties are now being shared with wives in this day and age, take charge of your responsibilities, and leading certain duties at home is the role of a husband. So she already says protect her and take charge of your responsibilities in the home. She wants you to clean, right? Hi, you know what? You could clean sometimes. Cool. But they're making that this is your probably your guideline to be a good husband, right? So you protect her, you help her clean, you love your wife unconditionally. Unconditionally. The foundation of any marriage is love and trust. These two go together. Your wife, primary responsibility of your husband, you must satisfy her emotionally by assuring her that you love, respect, and value her. Not just verbally, but this must also appear in your everyday action. So I gotta love her unconditionally. Be patient with her. Your wife is an individual. She will not have the same behavior or thoughts as you. You may at times there may be times when she nags or times when you do not like something about her. Be patient. Remember to appreciate her individuality, and not criticize or dislike her for small things that she does. Many times your wife has your goodwill at heart when she says or does something. Try to be gentle with her and let her know that you dislike something about her. Okay. So I got to be patient with her, right? Even though she's not fucking listening or whatever. Fulfill her needs and wishes. So wait a minute, hold on. I got to protect her, okay. I got to lead her. I got to clean up. I got to fucking support her emotionally, mentally. I got to be patient with her when she's doing shit that I don't like, and I have to be careful with how I tell her that she's doing something I don't like, and I have to fulfill her needs and wishes. No matter which religion or culture you follow, one of the wedding vows that every man and wife takes is that their duty is to fulfill each other's needs and wishes. The role of a good husband is to fulfill your wife's needs, wants, wishes, and dreams. Yes, modern day wives are able to fulfill their own needs, but making sure she has all that she needs is your duty as her husband. The more and more I read this, you know what this is sounding like? A fucking parent. Shit jumped us all the way at 13. All right. Treat her well. Treat her well. I thought I did everything. Treat her well, extra well. Remember to be a gentleman to your wife. The way you treat her speaks volumes. Spend time with your wife. So, like, does this apply to the people, the men that are out doing fucking 17, 18 hours a day? Apart from taking care of your needs of the house, a good husband spends quality time with his wife. No matter how busy your life is or how much time you invest in your kids, a good husband must always make time for his wife. Take her out, go shopping with her, watch a movie together, or just spend an hour or so speaking with her at the end of the day. This helps strengthen the bond of matrimony that you and your wife have. Yeah. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Be there for her. Well, god damn it, everything else I'm doing being there for her? Treat her well, spend time with her, be patient with her, be there for her. My God. Respect your wife. All that other shit ain't considered respect. Your wife's dignity is your responsibility too. As a husband, you must respect your wife in private as in public. You must avoid talking about your wife's private matters with friends and other family members. Whoa, that's the number one thing you fucking bros do. That's the number one thing women do. All of her friends and her family know your fucking business. Your relationship with your wife is an extremely private subject, and not sharing or disclosing these matters is a way to uphold the dignity and respect her. Maintain a balance in your marriage. Once you have kids, giving time to your marriage may sound tedious. When couples become parents, it's natural for the focus to shift. You must maintain a balance between being a husband and a father. Her opinion matters. Her opinions matter, rather. Marriage is a joint venture between you and your wife. You both are equals. We both are equals? It doesn't sound equal. We both are equals. Wow. Out of the other 10 things that she recommends, now she's saying that we're equal. But only because her opinion matters, right? A good husband, you must take her opinion on matters that concern your marriage and kids. She has an equal say in these matters, and you must give her thoughts and opinions consideration. This also lets your wife know how much you value her. So, this whole, you know why this doesn't make sense? Because it was written by a fucking woman, that's why. Help her with household chores. Homemakers, however, of a good husband is to help his wife with household chores, especially when she is busy, late from work, tired, or sick. How a couple divides their chores up is up to them, but if your wife is busy with household chores, it always makes a good idea to give her a break once in a while. What the fuck about you? Make her feel special. Yeah. Daily life and routine can rob a marriage of romance. It is a duty of the husband to make his wife feel special from time to time. Buy her a gift, surprise her with something she wanted for a long time, cook her a meal. The list is endless, I bet. Tips to be a good husband. Be your wife's best friend. Look after your wife physically and emotionally. Be protective of her. You know what that could be translated into. Respect your wife's beliefs, even if you disagree with them. Be sensitive to her needs, thoughts, and feelings. Match your words with your actions. Accept her faults. Support her in all her endeavors. Take an interest in her job. Solve problems with effective communication. Always talk things through, as no problem is insurmountable. Be passionate and trustworthy. Bruh. Listen to me. That's a bag of bullshit. You will be a miserable son of a bitch if you try to do all of that. And at the end of 5, 10, 15 years, she cashes you out. This is a list. Pick 3 off of that fucking list. Just 3. And that's it. Throw the rest of that shit away. Because that like what the fuck about Superman? And what do you bring but the fucking nagging, and then you're tired and this and that, and I have to be understanding while I'm the one that's going out and working, busting my ass, and I come back and I have to be understanding and this and that. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. This is the shit that they're fucking promoting, man.
See, we talk about this equality stuff and what women what shit to deserve. It's always for their benefit. This equality stuff always comes from their own benefit and not our benefit. Why does equality only have to benefit the female, but not the male?
Hey, don't watch this video if you're lazy. Don't watch this.
No, you could scream and say that these women want to be independent all they want, bro, and that's what I agree with what Steve Harvey said. They don't want to be independent. What does a man with, you know what I'm saying, great looks, money, you know what I'm saying, provisioning, you know what I'm saying, he can provide in many ways. He's smart, he's intelligent, he could teach.
He just brought something to my attention that I spoke about in my last video. Provision. Providing, right? Here's the thing about that. When you take a woman under your supervision, under your leadership, you have to provide for her. Provide a safe atmosphere, a safe place, right? When she comes by, you know, you're safe. She got to feel safe with you. You know what I mean? She should feel safe knowing that you're not fucking around on her, knowing that she's the most important person, right? Safe meaning she's not worried that you know, if your phone go off 3 o'clock in the morning, that it's a chick. She probably think, you know, whatever it is, I'm sure it's not a chick. That's how you got to make her feel safe. Provision. Every single one of you get it twisted. Provision is not providing your lifestyle. Provision is not the man paying your rent, your mortgage, your phone bill, your fucking nails, your hair, your card note. That's not provision. The correct interpretation of provision when you take a woman over is you share everything that is in your lifestyle with her. Right. You share the shit that's in your lifestyle with her. So she eats what you eat. She goes where you go. Whatever restaurants you like, she's going to be provided free access to go there with you. if you have a standard for your woman, you know what, I like my chick nails done, you know, at least 4 times a month. If that's how you feel, if that's the type of man you are, she gets her nails done 4 times a month. If you're the type of guy that nails aren't important, well, you know, it's just done once a month. You know, I don't really stress that. You know what? I'm a natural kind of guy. But maybe she's the type of woman that wants her nails done 4 times a month. That got fuck all to do with you. That's not provision. That's her taking care of her feminine fucking needs and shit. Vanity needs. Your provision is when you bring her into your fucking life, you're providing her free access into your life, into your car, into your home, into wherever you like to vacation. You take her. When you go to a restaurant, whatever restaurant you like to go, you take her. It's not to uphold a lifestyle that she thinks she deserves, that she cannot pay for. No. That's not it.
Protect. And protecting them, that's not easy, bro. This shit ain't easy. But if, you know, and I heard Andrew
when you say protect, right? Protect, you guys got to know and realize when you take a woman on, you have to protect her. So if you take a woman on and she got kids, guess who else you got to protect? Them fucking kids. If you take a woman on and she don't know how to control her mouth, she's very masculine. She like to get up in niggas' faces and challenge them and shit like that. You got to protect that. So choose wisely.
Say this, if I have to protect you and I'm responsible for you, then I should have authority over your life. And what happens is these women start making all this money and shit, and of course majority of guys are not making any money. Majority of guys are bums. Majority of guys don't work on themselves. Majority of guys got to step it up. So women would say, oh, I intimidate these guys. No, you don't intimidate these guys. The guys that you want don't want you. That's simple. Because you just don't do it for them. Because you think your money and your status and your bag and your car is what gets the dick and stick hard. And what my father told me.
Why don't you own apartment buildings? Seriously, why don't you own these?
All right, shut up. All right, we're going to get into some good shit, right? Well, why you shouldn't take advice from this motherfucker here. Shout out to Pink Book.
How you doing?
I'm 57, about to be 58, and God gave me curves.
Of course, here's another woman here. She's the one responsible for being the weight that she is, but she's gonna say it was God who gave her curves. And everyone listening knows this is BS. God did not make you overweight. In order to lose weight, you have to be in a caloric deficit. So it's the exact opposite to...
Yo, she 58 and looking for a man? You 58 and single? You damn near 60 years old and you still trying to date? That's fucking sad.
To gain weight. In order to gain weight, you simply have to consume more calories than you burn each day. It's basic science, and God did not do that to her. But of course, in order to avoid accountability, she's gonna blame it on everybody except for her. Lady, you just like to eat. This has nothing to do with God.
And they're kind of good and they're kind of bad. So the guys that are my age or older always say to me, oh, you're too pretty to be heavy. And like, you can't pinch, like I'm, kind of solid. And the younger guys, and I don't know if it's because of a movie named American Pie and I kind of look like this person called Stifler's mom, but like the movie's like Jennifer Coolidge.
Stifler's mom.
Yeah. So Jennifer Coolidge played that character, and
Who made this dude's day right here? You said that he was
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, that movie's really kind of changed my life. So I used to feel really bad and I would cry when the older guys would say things like that. It would make me feel inadequate. And so the younger guys, like, they like touch me like I'm a goddess and stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome.
No, ma'am. The younger guys, they are playing you, just like a PlayStation. And when they're done playing with you, they cut you off. Let's keep it real here. If she was having so much success with these younger guys, she wouldn't even be up here asking this question in the first place.
So I owe Jennifer Coolidge and whoever made that movie like my life because I'm almost 60 years old. So my dilemma though is that I just read recently that older women with younger guys may die early.
No shit, stupid.
So
older women with younger guys.
Yeah,
can
it's
die early.
Yeah,
You'll
it's
die
like your
first,
blood
dummy.
pressure might go up and like you might have a heart attack and stuff. And
Yeah.
so I'm like in a dilemma. So like, do I get insulted and cry with older guys, like saying things that makes me feel inadequate, or do I go out with the younger guys who like think I look
wanna fuck.
nice and live
Older niggas don't
a
wanna
shorter life? Maybe I don't know.
And then outside of dating, another option would be to get into a caloric deficit, lose about 10, 15, 20% of your body weight, and you can also add some years to your life there. You also can exit the dating market. Women 60 years old really shouldn't be out here trying to date. And although feminism taught them that they don't need a man, they still realize that being alone sucks.
Yeah. Fucking rich aunties.
Go out with younger guys and live a shorter life. I haven't heard that. I wouldn't be conscious about myself. Nice looking lady. Room full of curves in here. You know, most real men like curves. I don't know.
Here we go. Here we go. Most real men. Real men this, real men that. A real man would accept the fucked up shit you got to offer and not argue about it.
No, nobody that don't like curves. You know, especially the older we get. Hell, most men got curves.
That's true.
That's a damn fact right there. I don't know where these dudes come from, turn sideways, look like they're in their third trimester.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of older guys like curvy women. I don't.
Maybe I don't go where you are. I don't know. The guys that I run into are the other way around, like for real.
The crazy part is that even she knows that Steve is lying to her to spare her feelings. She said for real. The guys that she's running into, they are being for real with her about her weight. And those men that she's going after, I'm talking about the guys that she's interested in, they're telling her that it's a problem.
And it's tough, but
Well, you can always try black people.
I know. Well, I like to. Well,
that ain't our problem, black men. Tell you one thing, we appreciate a curve. We look for it. We clap for it.
And then that comment right there, it really suggests that black men don't have standards.
Yep.
He's telling her it's okay if white men don't want you, black men will take you.
And it's tough, but
Well, you can always try black people.
I know. Well, I like to. Well,
that ain't our problem, black men. Tell you one thing, we appreciate a curve. We look for it. We clap for it. We buy cars for it. I don't think you really have a problem. I would do this first. I don't let nobody define me with their own inadequacies.
That right there. That right there. I don't let other people define me with their inadequacies. That's the stupidest shit you could say to a person that's fat and not being selected. That's the stupidest shit you could believe from somebody for why you're fat and not being accepted. So you mean to tell me that a person that is fit and in shape has inadequacies about me being unfit and out of shape? Therefore, I should look at them like something's wrong with them. That's stupid.
I would tell the next man that told you that he don't like your curves, just tell him because he ain't man enough. You
Is
know, if
There
you
you
was
go.
man enough, first of all, if you was a real man, you wouldn't say that no damn way. And if you was all the man you needed to be, you'd be able to handle this. And
All
then
right.
just say, I don't like.
I can't. I can't. I can't, bro.
Like small ass men and just walk off, and you look small to me and
There you
look
go.
down right at him.
Okay.
You look, I don't like small men, and just move on.
He's teaching women the same shit that Kevin Samuels came up with, that he identified specifically with black women. Shame, insults, guilt, and it need to be right. That's what he's teaching this lady how to do. They don't like her because she's unfit, not fit enough. And he's teaching her to insult them, to shame them, to make them feel guilty. The guilt part is, I won't be defined by your inadequacies. That's the guilt part.
You got to get your power back. You're a nice looking lady, and then tell them you syphilis mama.
Okay.
You know, whoever they name, what's her name? Who?
Stifler. Stifler.
Stifler. Stifler's mama. Oh, well, ain't you sexy?
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you. Thank you.
End of conversation.
So
You are what you think you are.
No, you're
What
not
the fuck?
who you think you are. You are who you are. Steve is telling her to use shaming
Yo. This sounds like a fucking LGBT transgender fucking conversation, man.
tactics to force men to accept her the way that she is. This lady is trying to date outside of her league. That's the big elephant in the room. The men that will want her, she's not interested. But instead of dating the men who will want her, he's telling her to shame men who don't want her into wanting her. Won't work.
I want it simple, I want it to fit nice and look good. Fresh, clean threads, checks all those boxes. For me personally, I don't like the big
It is
boxy
commercial.
t-shirt look. I also don't want big graphics or logos on my t-shirts, and it shows off your physique in a good way. It really compliments you. So I feel confident and ready to tackle anything that comes my way.
Oh, real man.
Look at
This fucked up t-shirt. Why you want a fresh, clean, fit tees t-shirt? It's crazy, but I got a bunch of them shits too. I love these shits. You can see my motherfucking shirt. Look at this shit. See that? Red pill, motherfucker.
Lady right here, sexy as she want to be. I can go down this road. Look at this lady right here. You still see. Look at this. Her mama. Look at this woman right here. See, if I was 17 and went over her house and she came to the door, I'd have married her ass.
Steve, I have a problem. My son's friends are always asking me out.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't go out with your son's
No,
friends.
no.
Don't do that, because they're going to talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't do that. Young dudes talk.
they do.
They run their mouth. Don't do
Right.
that. Please don't. Your son, it'll kill your son.
They would.
Yeah, you need to meet Mr. Stifler, the daddy. Yeah, just get your grown ass man. He coming. Don't worry about that. But don't go out with your son's friends.
No,
though.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
I agree with Steve on that part. Why would you want to go out with your son's friends?
She
You're
probably-
so desperate that you would embarrass your son like
Probably
that.
do.
None of his friends will really take you seriously. They're just gonna mess around with you.
They've been flirting with her ass. She already done sucked somebody's dick, man. Now, this is the nigga that's giving you this advice right here. This chick. Shoot. This chick right here. Oh, hold on. Fuck it. Since we here, we gonna watch it. This chick here, listen to this.
Steve opened up about the details of the relationship in its early stages, revealing that he told Marjorie on the very first day he met her that she would someday be his wife. He went on to say that they broke up because he was homeless. So let me get this straight. Okay. He met her at his show.
All right, man. I'm sorry. This nigga talk too slow for me, and I'm on it. The chick that he married to now, she left him back in the day when he ain't had no money. He was broke and the nigga was homeless. Instead of helping the nigga out, she just left him, and in turn he was able to get back on his feet, and then he started chasing the ass again, and then she finally accepted him. She usually deals with big time drug dealer niggas, like back in the day. Like they got a little nickname for her, Lady Heroin or some shit like that. Let me pull that up for you. Hold on. Let me pull that up for you.
He surely believed he'd secure the woman of his dreams, and perhaps he did. But for Marjorie, she surely hit the jackpot, possibly for the third time, just in a much different way, a less incriminating way. It's been about 16 years since Marjorie uttered the words "I do," and over 30 since being entwined with her first husband, one of Memphis City's biggest drug dealers, as well as her second, his alleged cousin. According to Steve, Marjorie first caught his attention in 1990 after showing up late to one of his stand-up shows. Upon landing eyes on her, Steve lessened the gap between his thick lips and the mic and reportedly boasted, "I don't know who this is, but I'm gonna marry her." Steve was serious, but Marjorie was hesitant. After all, she was still very much married. According to Marjorie, she and Steve dated for a bit, but the night outs and gut-filled butterflies dwindled as time went on. Soon enough, the phone calls and communication stopped altogether, and the pursuance of Marjorie came to an abrupt end, with Steve citing his lack of financial stability as to why he and she were no more. As Steve was getting his money up, Marjorie was busy being a ride or die for Jim Townsend, her first husband and former drug dealer who'd run the streets of Memphis, Tennessee. Marjorie right there along with him, but don't be fooled or a fool. Marjorie wasn't just some innocent bystander attending to her 2 babies while her husband made money his way. Let Jim tell it, she was right there along with him participating in his antics. Jimmy Townsend, was sentenced to life in prison back in the late 90s after attempting to purchase cocaine the size of an average 12-year-old boy. But before he'd be escorted to the human equivalent of a dog pound, he and Marjorie were king and queen of Memphis's underground drug hoarding ring. The fancy cars and big bank lured Marjorie right on in, and before she knew it, she not only married Jim, but would end up conceiving 2 of his kids, Morgan and Jason. Contrary to what many fans of Steve's may have believed, that Marjorie's 3 children all came from one man who isn't Steve, in case you weren't aware. Her first 2 children are in fact the offsprings of her first husband, Jim Townsend. With Jim looking at life in the penitentiary, he and his wife were in this thing for the long run, and absolutely no one was going to get Marjorie to snitch on her man. Not the FBI or the DEA, who investigated Marjorie time and time again, believing that she too was involved in Jim's illegal activities. They even threatened him by telling him they'd arrest Marjorie if she didn't cooperate. Jim wasn't about to spill the beans to the feds and get the mother of his children locked up right along with him, opting to not give away information that could possibly get her imprisoned. But that wouldn't last too long. It'd only take a good 30+ years or so for Jimmy to say, "To hell with everything. I'ma speak my truth since you want to finesse your way into a millionaire's heart and try to keep my kids from me."
People think learning piano takes a really long time, but that's false. Here's how long it really takes with this new method.
But before we expose the meat of the entree, we gotta talk about Marjorie's second husband and alleged cousin to her first, Darnell Woods, or as some may refer to as Lori Harvey's real daddy. Just 5 years into Jim's sentence, Marjorie, then pregnant with baby number 2, got tired of sticking by her felon bae and opted out of that marriage and into another, this time with yet another kingpin. Something about that drug hustling life Marjorie couldn't seem to get enough of, eh? Darnell Woods wasn't just any old drug dealer. He too was a part of Memphis, Tennessee's biggest drug sting. Linked to his brothers amongst other relatives, Darnell along with his kin were a part of the infamous Memphis Mob Gang, founded in the 80s at the height of the crack epidemic that plagued the nation. Using a number of car washes and nightclubs as hotspots, their notorious Martini Room attracted big ballers, athletes, and whomever else wanted in on the action. The Memphis Mob had a lengthy run before being busted and indicted on several charges, including conspiracy to possess and distribute kilos of cocaine with the intent to distribute marijuana. But before Darnell met the same fate as his alleged cousin Jim, he and Marjorie welcomed their baby girl Lori in 1997 and would end up tying the knot 3 years later before divorcing in 2001. Whole time Marjorie was with Darnell, she still kept tabs on Jim Townsend and vice versa. Whenever Jim hit up her line, Marjorie was right there to answer those collect calls no matter what. After all, Jim was the father of her kids. However, all that prison talk and visits came to an end once Steve found his way back into Marjorie's heart. With Marjorie now a divorced woman, Steve got the word that his ex was back on the market. Despite not being in an actual relationship, Steve just knew Marjorie was the one for him. Reminiscing on his time spent with Marjorie back in the 90s, Steve by this point was finally in a good enough financial and mental state to take care of a woman of Marjorie's caliber. He now was the star of his own TV show, The Steve Harvey Show, and decided the time was now to win over the lady of his dreams. Who cares if he was married to a whole other woman at the time, am I right? All that advice he gives on his popular daytime talk show doesn't amount.
This nigga be talking all that shit. Him, Derek Jackson, all these niggas be talking all that shit, and they just as foul. How Jay-Z say? They sort over them Tompkins to sort them dudes of trust. I don't know what the fuck they thought. Them niggas is foul just like us. This nigga ain't shit either, but gonna tell, man.
Out to this and his truth. Don't let your wife stop you from finding the love of your life, fellas. Before linking back up with Marjorie in the early 2000s, Steve was a whole married man. Married to his second wife and the mother of his son, Winton, Mary Shackelford says she was completely blindsided when Steve hit her with those divorce papers, and even more blindsided when she discovered he was sneaking around with Lady Heroin for Lord knows how long. Not only that, but Mary claims that Marjorie convinced her son Winton to cut all ties with her, and now has her son not only refusing to speak to her, but is out here calling another woman mom, all whilst ignoring his real one. It had been Big Boom, Steve's bodyguard, who had reminded Steve of his more happier days spent with Marjorie, urging Steve to give Marjorie a call, which would turn out to be one of the greatest calls he'd ever make. But before Steve rekindled his and Marjorie's once broken relationship, Ride or Die Marge was tied to yet another man, a former pimp turned bodyguard that the streets are saying was no other than Big Boom himself. Steve and Marjorie decided to take their relationship to the next level in 2007 after they got married, blending their families. The pair have now been married for about 16 years as of 2023, and Steve is more head over heels for Marjorie than he's ever been. However, his ex-wife Mary says it's all a facade. So let us get this straight. Marjorie Harvey was married to 2 kingpin drug dealers, got with Steve Harvey's bodyguard before the bodyguard put in a good word for Marjorie and eventually ended up securing Steve? Talk about playing the game. Y'all don't have to guess where Lori gets her skills from anymore. Despite her dad, Steve, being the author of one of his bestsellers, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, apparently she was taught by one of the best to ever do it, her mama. If you don't take our word for it, then how about from the man who knows her probably more than Steve does? Her first husband, Jim, who claims that not only was his ex-wife pushing dough, but knows all about how to finesse a ninja. Jim Townsend, who later get released from prison after being pardoned in 2017 by President Barack Obama, after serving 26 years, is telling it all in his new book, Snakes in the Garden. He'd been working on since his time spent behind bars, and we must say it's a nail-biter. Just check out this excerpt. The sight of Morgan always brought joy to my heart. She was truly the apple of my eye and the only reason I hadn't killed her mother. As Morgan couldn't understand what was happening, she turned her attention back to me and locked eyes with me, giving me a look that said, "Come and get me, Daddy." There were 3 things that I hated and regretted. The first was the abortion issue, which I will explain later. The second was the fact that I allowed Marjorie to convince me to lie to Morgan for 4 years, telling her that I was in Lewisburg working a job while I was in prison. Morgan was 8 when I finally said to hell with Marjorie and her mother and told her the truth. Marjorie and her heartless mother thought I had committed an unpardonable sin by setting things straight with Morgan. But telling her the truth was one of our most intimate and memorable phone conversations. The little 8-year-old rebuked me for lying to her, and she made me promise that I would never lie to her again. Jim is not playing about this tell-all book, and by the looks of it, his kids Morgan and Jason don't give a hoot about their biological daddy spilling the beans about their mama. Because from what we can tell, Jim has been spending time with them as recently as late 2022. Perhaps this could mean the Harvey household is experiencing some turbulence. Are you getting a copy of Jim Townsend's book? Let us know.
This nigga here. This nigga here. Fucking Steve Harvey.
Simple combination of natural ingredients that will help you poop out pounds of old rotten waste in your colon within
juicy gossip and explosive revelations, and today we're about to delve deep into the controversial past of one of its biggest stars. Marjorie Harvey, the celebrated television host and fashion icon, is about to have her skeletons brought out of the closet by none other than her ex-husband, Jim Townsend. From alleged financial misdeeds to criminal activities, the shocking details of Marjorie's life are about to be revealed. And we've got the inside scoop. Buckle up, because this is one wild ride you won't want to miss. Marjorie Harvey is no stranger to controversy. Her past marriages to not one, but 2 men involved in substance trafficking have caused quite a stir in the media. Jim Townsend, her first husband, was reportedly a cocaine dealer in Memphis during the 1980s and was later sentenced to life in prison for drug trafficking. It's not every day that you hear about a woman who's been married to 2 drug dealers. But that's exactly what Marjorie Harvey's past is all about. After her divorce from Townsend, she went on to marry Darnell Woods, who was also involved in trafficking. Woods was eventually sentenced to life in prison in 2003 for his role in a drug conspiracy involving the trafficking of cocaine and marijuana. As the saying goes, once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, but 3 times is a pattern. What's more, people have been saying that Marge only got with Steve once he hit the big time and started raking in the dough. I mean, it's not like Marge is a gold digger or anything. But let's be real, Steve Harvey's bank account is pretty impressive. And you know what they say, when the money talks, the love walks in. It's no wonder that some people have started to raise questions about Marjorie's past and whether or not she may have had a hand in these illegal activities. In any case, it's hard to deny that Marjorie's past has been the subject of much gossip and intrigue. Some have even gone so far as to insinuate that she might have been the queenpin of the operations. However, Marjorie has been able to overcome her past and build a successful career in the fashion industry. She's a true inspiration to many and a reminder that we can all rise above adversity and make something of ourselves. But the question remains, was Marjorie involved in the shady business herself? It's a question that's been on many people's minds, but one that's difficult to answer. Well, it looks like her ex-husband is ready to spill all the tea in a juicy tell-all book. According to insiders, Janelle Townsend's book, Snakes in the Garden, promises to reveal shocking details about his life as a drug dealer and his tumultuous relationship with Marjorie Harvey. And while we can't confirm anything just yet, some people are saying that the book could expose even more about Marjorie's own involvement in the shady business. Could it be that Marjorie wasn't just a passive participant in her ex-husband's illegal activities? Or will the book reveal a completely different side of the story? One thing's for sure, with a title like Snakes in the Garden, we're in for one wild ride. Anyway, when asked about the book, Townsend said, "I wrote 2/3 of the book in prison." He continued to add, "I have no allegiance to Marjorie, she showed her hand. I'm going to tell my story. It don't matter if she knows about it." So, should Marjorie be worried about the release of this tell-all book? Absolutely. If the book contains damaging information about her past as a drug dealer's wife, it could have serious implications for her reputation in the social circles she runs in, as well as her image as a fashion icon and philanthropist. But the potential impact doesn't stop there. The book's rumored revelations about Marjorie's relationships with Townsend and Woods could also have major implications for her marriage with Steve Harvey. If the rumors about Marjorie only getting with Steve after he became wealthy are true, the book could be a major blow to their relationship. And let's not forget about the potential bombshell.
No, it won't. That nigga's a sucker. He ain't gonna leave.
The book could contain about other celebrities and their involvement in the Memphis drug scene during the 80s. The public's anticipation for this tell-all book is growing by the day, and if there's any juicy gossip to be found, it's sure to spread like wildfire. In the end, only time will tell what kind of impact Snakes in the Garden will have on Marjorie's reputation and relationships. But one thing's for sure, if there's any dirt to be found, the public will find it, and they won't have.
Well, one thing I could say, I saw something on here earlier, about 6 days ago. It said 6 days ago. Let me see. This one, yeah. 6 days ago, Jim Townsend sends a strong message to Marjorie Harvey for lying to the FBI. Let's see.
Hey, y'all need to get on this drama because, child, it is piping hot. So word on the streets is that Steve Harvey's boo thing, Marjorie, has a super shady past with drugs, and she was even investigated by the FBI for her suspected involvement in a drug ring. And now an insider, and when I say insider, I actually mean Marjorie's ex-husband, Jim Townsend, who was the leader of the drug ring in question, is now spilling all the tea in a messy, messy book. Y'all better get ready because things just got real. Now, when people talk about Marjorie, they talk about her as Steve's wife. You know, the love of his life, the fashionista, and some messy people even call her a gold digger. I don't know about that, but what I find interesting is the fact that people don't really talk about her past life before she got with Steve. I mean, it's not like she just dropped out of the sky one day with 3 grown kids and made Steve adopt them and treat them better than his own biological kids. Marjorie has always kept her past life secret, and now we know why. It's because her past is shadier than the forest, because she has a lot of secrets that she doesn't want anyone to know. Well, unfortunately for her, her ex-husband is back, and he is ready to expose her real self to the world. I know that Marjorie has always been dragged online, but it's mostly because Steve cheated on his then wife, Mary, with Marjorie and left Mary penniless so he could be with Marjorie. Then there's also the fact that Steve actually met Marjorie back in 1987 when he was still a struggling comedian and was broke AF. Well, Marjorie was not all about that brokey life and chose not to pursue a relationship with him until he got his finances in order. They finally met again in 2005, and this time Steve was already rolling in Hollywood millions, so Marjorie was more than happy to become his wife, and this is why people think that she's a gold digger, because she was not willing to grow with Steve, but she came back when he was already made. Talk about a material girl. Anyways, in those years between 1987 to 2005, our girl Marjorie was super busy with not one, but 2 marriages, as well as being tied to 2 drug rings. She was married to Jim Townsend, who ran a drug ring. They had a child together, Morgan, and by the time he was arrested in 1992, she was pregnant with their second child, Jason. Jim was busted for trying to buy 40 kilos or 88 pounds of nose candy, if you know what I mean. Anywho, he got busted, and at the time, Marjorie acted like a cute, unsuspecting housewife who had no idea that her husband was involved in that type of business, and she got away with the act, especially because she was heavily pregnant at the time. I mean, who on earth would believe that a pregnant woman was involved in running a drug ring? Well, just because Jim ran a drug ring doesn't mean that he was a rat, so he didn't snitch on Marjorie. It probably has something to do with the fact that she was carrying his baby, and he also didn't want their first child to go without both parents, so he took the fall and our girl walked free. The FBI and the DEA both suspected that she was more than a cute housewife, and they actually investigated her for her alleged roles in the ring, but they couldn't find anything against her. Also, Jim allegedly cut a deal with the authorities to leave Marjorie out of it. Anywho, Jim took the fall, and in 1992, he was sentenced to life imprisonment. Marjorie stuck by his side for a while, had their second child, and 5 years later, she bailed on him. She filed for divorce, took the kids, and went straight to another man, and this is where things get even spicier. She got married a second time to a man named Donnell Woods, and the wild part about this is that he was also a drug dealer who got busted by the authorities. It's also believed that he is Lori's biological father, but nobody has come out to confirm it. But seriously, how on earth did she think that it was a great idea for her to jump into a marriage with another drug kingpin where she barely escaped going to jail the first time around? We gotta hand it to Marjorie. She has done things that most of us wouldn't even dream of doing. Now, one interesting thing that people have pointed out is the fact that Marjorie probably goes after those men because they were rich and could afford to give her the lavish lifestyle that she wants. I'm not saying that's true, but then she did choose Jim over Steve when Steve was still broke, and then she married another dealer, so this theory is not as crazy as it sounds. But y'all want to know what is really insane about this? It's the fact that her second husband, Donnell, is cousins with her first husband, Jim. Child, talk about keeping it in the family. Divorcing a man when he's in jail, then marrying his cousin is just wild. And it's more than enough to make a man salty. And it looks like Jim is more than salty because he is out for revenge. Jim was sentenced to life in prison, but he only served 26 years because he got a presidential pardon from President Obama. He's been out of prison for a while, and when I tell y'all that he is still bitter at Marjorie, he has held on to this grudge for more than 30 years, and now he is ready to let it all out and make some cold cash while doing so. He has written a tell-all book where he is going to be spilling all the tea about his life, his little shady business that sent him to prison, and of course, Marjorie is going to be a part of this. He spoke to Radar Online about the book, saying, "I wrote 2/3 of the book in prison. I have no allegiance to Marjorie. She showed her hand. I'm going to tell my story. It don't matter if she knows about it." It looks like Marjorie has a lot to be worried about because it sounds like Jim is not going to be holding back anything in this book, and she just might find herself exposed.
So the book isn't really like anything that's gonna like kind of bash her or make people be like, "Dang, Marjorie did all that."
Yes and no. I'm telling you, you know how life is.
Right.
You know how life is. I'm gonna put the truth out there.
Right.
And I'm putting the truth out there, I should say. And you know, just let people be the judge.
He also recently unveiled the memoir titled Snakes in the Garden.
Pow! There it is, baby.
There's also an excerpt from the book saying, "The sight of Morgan always brought joy to my heart. She was truly the apple of my eye and the only reason I hadn't killed her mother. As Morgan couldn't understand what was happening, she turned her attention back to me and locked eyes with me, giving me a look that said, 'Come and get me, Daddy.'" Yeah, certainly doesn't sound like he's going to be taking the trouble of portraying Marjorie in a positive light. And like I said, she needs to be worried because this man is out for blood. And there's going to be a crazy amount of drama when the book eventually drops. It's going to be released in July 2023. And guess what? The book has 3 parts and he is charging $29.99 for the first one. Must be some really spicy tea for him to charge $29.99 and have it in 3 parts. But I wouldn't be surprised if Marjorie and Steve file a lawsuit so he doesn't release the book and embarrass her. It's not the first time they're going to be doing something like that because they also filed a gag order against Steve's second wife, Mary, when she tried exposing Steve to the media.
He took my Winton from me. He turned my son against me with all the emails and the text messages and the different things that I was finding out about. I thought the least that he could do, make me whole at the end of it. He left. He just left, walked out the door. Once he realized that I was going to divorce him, went right to New York, to our apartment that we had there, which I never got to see, by the way, and then she joined him there.
People left comments saying, "Steve Harvey, stop talking about other people's families when you married Memphis, Tennessee's biggest female drug dealer, Marjorie Miss C-O-K-E. Y'all surprised about Lori Harvey, but her mom Marjorie has an ex who was a kingpin and left him and went to be with his cousin, who's also a drug dealer and had kids by both. Come on, y'all. That family been about that life. They just look good and classy with it. And this could end up being karma for Steve for what he did to his wife before Marjorie, Lady Heroin. It has been alleged that he left that wife broke, homeless, and took her son. I don't believe this will come to a good end because no evil will be blessed. Can't.
Yeah. That shit gonna be karma on that nigga. Trust me, I know. I know about karma. And right when you think shit going well, life is good, shit, we all secure, we know what we're doing, we on the same page, boom. Yeah. Yep. But that chick, man, damn, man, she all about the money. She left this nigga and went with his cousin while he was locked up. Yo, that's some low shit, man. God damn. Like, fuck it, this nigga in there, he in there for life. So what's up? Yeah, he in there for life. Fuck it. Nigga busting his cousin's ass. Ooh, I knew this shit was good. You always look good. Ooh. Nutted in him, got her pregnant. Then this nigga get locked up. And she like, yo, Steve, what is... Damn, ain't no more drug dealers. This drug game is dried up. Shit. Oh, this nigga got a talk show? How much he making from that shit? She said, all right. Yo. They dirty. And I want to show my homegirl real quick. Chick always keep it 100. Little slim ting.
Not only that, then increasingly you're telling women to be the opposite of what I think men want, right? The opposite. Maybe in the instant when men are not thinking with their big heads and they're saying, oh, whoa, she's out naked, great, I'm going to go for it. That might be what a man wants. But long term, that's not what a man wants. A man doesn't want a girl that's just going to be naked all the time and put herself out there available for every man to see. You know, that I don't have to be a man to know that that's not what men want. So then you say men suck. And I ask this question all the time. You complain about men, but are you being the type of a woman that a man would want, right?
Yo, what's up, guys? Before we get started, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We are almost at 300,000 subscribers, and we would love for you guys to help us make it happen. So hit the subscribe button, and let's get started with today's video.
You know what I always say?
Go ahead.
Experiment with both and tell me what makes you feel better. And that is the truth when it comes to young women, because I dedicated my first episode to young women and really talking to them about these are the options that are being presented to you. Less, take off more clothes, you know, do the most to get attention, right? If you think that that's freedom, the idea that you have to wear less, and the idea that you have to get naked to be heard, you really think that's a form of freedom? Because that's slavery, that's bondage. I didn't have to take off my clothes to be heard in society. And these women will realize that when you follow these people that are, you know, self-imposed feminists, I'm a feminist, I do this, I'm a feminist, you hear that word over and over and over again.
That's my little baby. That's my little baby. Yeah, that's about it, man. Y'all don't listen to this Steve Harvey nigga, man. Damn, hold on. Don't listen to that nigga, man. All right, I'm out.